India is a Vishwaguru, a rising superpower, the mother of democracy, the pharmacy of the world, the software hub of the planet, and apparently a country whose citizens can be killed by a superpower without causing much diplomatic inconvenience. 3 sailors dead in Oman waters. American missiles, American blockades, American arrogance. Imagine for a moment, what if it was Pakistan instead of United States?
मोदी की नसों में लहू नहीं, गरम सिंदूर बह रहा है.
Sovereignty is very easy when confronting weaker countries. Anybody can be brave in a room full of people smaller than them. The test comes when the giant enters. And this is not just about America. Same with China as well. Ditto. 20 Indian soldiers dead in Galwan. The nation expected fury. Instead, the government preferred caution. We were told China would pay a heavy price. And to be fair, somebody did pay a heavy price. Indian teenagers. TikTok was banned. Reports say the Chinese economy is still reeling from the loss of Indian lip sync videos for China. They took our land, we banned the app. We bravely replaced the Chinese TikTok with American Instagram. And the bravery doesn't stop at the App Store. It extends all the way to the silver screen, Bollywood. Recent reports claim something truly spectacular. Films dealing with the Galwan attack are being discouraged from directly naming China as the adversary. The title of Salman Khan's Battle of Galwan was quietly changed to Mathrubhumi, motherland, because God forbid we offend the people who actually occupied it. Imagine making a shock movie without the shock. Our nationalism is strictly geographic. The famous 56-inch chest is highly elastic. It expands for Islamabad, contracts for Beijing, and folds neatly for Washington. Our Desh Bhakti appears to have a built-in GPS. It knows exactly where to work and where to lose signal. I understand America is a superpower. Powerful countries behave like powerful countries. But that is not the story here. The problem here is not America acting like America. The problem is the domestic PR agency pretending we are America. The problem is the 24/7 fake hologram of Vishwaguru. The problem is the endless drumbeat of Danka Baj Raha Hai, while our citizens are treated like target practice. Marco Rubio didn't just refuse to apologize. He essentially promised they would do it again. His exact response? All commercial vessels should immediately comply with orders from US forces. Violations of the US blockade and illicit transport of Iranian oil will not be tolerated. Translation? Obey our orders, or your citizens. And what did our governments do? They swallowed it. The much advertised Danka went completely silent. The last remaining fig leaf of this government was international respect. We were told the Prime Minister had made India an untouchable titan on the global stage. We were told leaders like Donald Trump my close personal friends. Well, the friend just fired a missile into ocean, and his Secretary of State just told us to clean up the mess and follow orders. It is genuinely heartbreaking to watch a proud historic nation of 1.4 billion reduced to this. Sir, we gave up our cheap Russian oil. Sir, we gave up our Iranian supply. Sir, we quietly swallowed a 50% penalty without making a sound. Sir, we even accepted an 18% tariff on our own trade deal. Sir, please, sir, what else we can give you? And the man saying this wasn't an opposition leader trying to mock the government. It was Ram Madhav, a senior BJP and RSS.
We agreed to stop buying oil from Iran. We agreed to stop buying oil from Russia. Facing so much criticism from our Indian opposition, we agreed for 50% tariffs. Agreed means we did not say anything. We maintained our patience. 50% tariffs we agreed. Today, in the new trade deal also, we agreed for 18% tariffs, higher than what it used to be. Average tariff. So, where is India lagging behind in that? What are those issues that where India is not doing enough?
He literally stood in front of an American audience and asked, where exactly is India not doing enough to work with America? This is the actual geopolitical spine of our Mahamanav. To all the Dhurandhar fans cheering in the multiplexes, to all the WhatsApp uncles forwarding maps of global dominance, dreaming of Akhand Bharat, this is the reality of our Naya Bharat. We are not the Vishwaguru. We are just a nation running on a massive middle-class inferiority complex. I have said this a couple of times before. Here, I am saying it again. You cannot be a superpower when your spine is made of a middle-class anxiety.
Look, they are the bigger economy. What am I going to do? As a smaller economy, I'm going to go pick a fight with a bigger economy.
India desperately needs a real face. We don't need even managers with well-trimmed beards. We need leaders who actually know how to play dirty. People who understand that the international system is not a morality play. It is a negotiation. A relentless negotiation. Every day, every hour, every minute. Countries do not respect you because you're polite. They do not respect you because you are ancient. They do not respect you because your spokesperson speaks a fluent English. No. They respect people who can look at a superpower and simply say no. Instead, we have mastered a different skill. Diplomatic customer support. Premium package for Washington. Corporate package for Beijing. And a highly aggressive, unhinged tone reserved strictly for election rallies in Bihar.
मोदी यहां सीना तान कर खड़ा है। मोदी का दिमाग ठंडा है, ठंडा रहता है, लेकिन मोदी का लहू गर्म होता है।
The irony is, the Modi government knows exactly how to be ruthless. They know how to break the rules, bend the system. They have an absolute, undisputed PhD in playing dirty. But unfortunately, they saved all the talent for domestic use. They saved the surgical strikes for state elections. They unleashed the enforcement directorate like a pack of wolves on a regional chief minister. But when Marco Rubio calls, you suddenly remember the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi. Ahimsa Paramo Dharma. Let us maintain our patience. Please accept our 18% tariff. The Vishwaguru is a tiger in Maharashtra and a vegetarian house cat in Washington. We are so obsessed with capturing every single municipal corporation in the country that we didn't notice we had surrendered our autonomy to the White House. We have mastered the art of destroying the Gandhi Parivar, Gandhi family. But we have completely forgotten how to handle the Trump Parivar, Trump family. Sir, please, sir, what else can we do, sir? Same system, same people, two completely different personalities. Inside India, Iron Hand, outside India. Folded hands. And the most humiliating part, while we fold our hands in Washington, who is sitting at a negotiating table, who is actually ending the US-Iran war, who is brokering the ceasefire that just reopened the Strait of Hormuz? Pakistan. Just the isolated neighbor. The bankrupt country we defeat every Friday in Bollywood. They are shaping the Middle East. We are reshaping our movie scripts so China doesn't get angry. They are negotiating with the American empire. We are apologizing for buying cheap oil. I really cannot talk more on this, because if I do, either I might actually cry or I might use words that I really shouldn't use. So I am ending it here with the immortal lines of Irtiza Nishad. Lines that perfectly summarize the geopolitical spine of our leadership. कुर्सी है तुम्हारा जनाजा तो नहीं है, कुर्सी है तुम्हारा जनाजा तो नहीं है, कुछ कर नहीं सकते तो उधर क्यों नहीं जाते? It is just a chair, it is not your coffin. If you cannot do anything while sitting on it, why don't you just step down?
It is just a chair. It is not your coffin.